Good morning, aloha, kakahiaka. Members, staff, and members of the public, and members of the Tasha Kama family, welcome. Ms. Clerk, please proceed with roll call.
Chair proceeding with roll call. Vice Chair Yukilei Sugimura.
Good morning, everybody. So lovely to see everyone in the chambers who are joining us and looking forward to a productive meeting, Chair.
Councilmember Tamara Paulton.
Aloha kakahiaka kākou. If somebody can enable my camera, I'll turn it on.
Oh, me too.
Councilmember Gabe Johnson.
Chair, council members, committee members, there's no testifiers at the Lanai District Office, and I'm here and ready to work.
Okay,
Councilmember Keani Rollins Fernandez.
excused.
Councilmember Tom Cook.
Aloha Friday to all, and especially to our guests in the chambers this morning. There's no testifiers in the Kihei office, and really looking forward to today's meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Councilmember Nohelani Uuhajens.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, everyone. Aloha, Ohana Kama. Nice to see you guys again.
Councilmember Shane Sinensi.
Aloha kakahiaka kākou.
And Chair Alice Lee.
Aloha, everyone.
Chair, you have 7 members present, 1 excused. A quorum is present to conduct the business of the council. For the record, I'm the county clerk, Moana Ludi, and seated next to me is the deputy county clerk, Rochelle Thompson. Also present from our office are Joyce Murashige, Lauren Saldana, Del Yoshida, and Arthur Suyama. Assisting the council with maintaining order and decorum is Council Ambassador Ryan Martins. Joining the meeting from the Office of Council Services is the Director, David Rotz, and Legislative Attorney Carla Nakata, and from the Department of the Corporation Council is First Deputy Mimi Desjardins.
Opening remarks will be provided by Vice Chair Yuki Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. It's coming up, and we will all be gathering with our family and special friends. It's such a special time of the year. I'd just like to say I'm so grateful for Councilmember Tasha Kama, for her service, for her family, and for her friendship. I'm grateful to all those working so hard to move our community forward. I'm grateful for Kaunoe Batangan, Carolee Kamikona, and Leo Akoliko for putting themselves out there during this difficult time. Please take the time to reflect and share with those that you are grateful for and that you are thankful for, and give them a hug. Thank you, Chair.
Good advice.
Yes.
And now the Pledge of Allegiance.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we proceed with today's agenda, may I please request that everyone keep their microphones muted unless it's your turn to speak. As a reminder, testimony must pertain to items on the meeting agenda. When testifying, please direct your remarks to the council and not to any individual council member or member of the public. Each testifier will be allowed to speak for up to 3 minutes on each item. For individuals wishing to testify on Teams, please click the raise your hand button to be added to the testifier log. If you are calling in, please follow the phone prompts to be added to the log. If you wish to testify anonymously, please sign in as anonymous and you will be given a testifier number. Decorum shall be maintained at all times. Any person who behaves in a manner that disrupts, disturbs, or impedes the orderly conduct of any council can, at the discretion of the presiding officer or majority of present council members, be ejected or banned from council meetings, or if participating remotely, muted or dropped from the meeting. Examples of disruptive behavior include, but are not limited to, heckling, shouting, use of profanity, threatening, or slanderous remarks made to any member of the council, staff, or general public. This does happen. All meeting attendees, whether online or in person, are expected to wear clothing which should not display profanity, obscenity, or any message that could be considered discriminatory, harassing, or inappropriate for these proceedings. Now, Ms. Clerk, please proceed.
Chair, at this time, we'll be taking, testimony only on the ceremonial resolution. And we've got members of the Kama Ohana who will be providing testimony. And I don't have names, so however you want to start is fine, and you can just introduce yourselves at the podium.
Aloha kakahiaka. I think it's actually just me. Sorry.
The record, could you state your name first?
My name is Devali Kaialani Naiole.
Number?
4. Aloha Chair and member of the Maui County Council. My name is Kahia and I'm the daughter of the late council member Natalie Tasha Po'okalanikama. So as one of her daughters, who sometimes was here testifying on the other side of the way Mom was voting, I just thought it probably would be appropriate if I was here today to comment on her resolution, because I'm sure me and her would be on the same side today. And I just wanted to extend my deepest gratitude to all of you for taking the time to honor my mom today. God, I was so good all week. Thank you for recognizing her life and her work and the heart that she brought to this chamber. Sorry, the other thing I was gonna do is make sure I stayed on time because she would want us to do that.
You know what? You take all the time you need.
To see her remembered here in this chamber, knowing how much she poured into her community and how important this position was to her, it's very touching. As you folks know, she was a woman of faith and conviction. I know people are like, oh, she's bought or whatever. It's like, you don't know my mother. She do what she likes. She don't care who you are, what you did, what you gave her, what you did for her. She's going to make her own decisions. And that's how she was. I know, because I went try to convince her on plenty of stuff. And she would listen to me. And that was the great thing about Mom. She was a great listener. But at the end of that conversation, you didn't know if you had her or not. You didn't know until she voted. And I was like, oh, okay, I thought I had that one. But so just to say, nobody influences Mom. Mom always had her own thoughts and ideas about things. But she definitely would listen and consider what you had to say. And I just wanted that on the record. So just to see her name in print on that resolution, and knowing that I will hear her name today, spoken with respect and in gratitude, just shows to me that her service mattered to people. And that's important to me in particular, because my ohana has given much service to this island and to this county and to Hawaii. So mahalo nui to each of you, not just for this resolution, but for the kindness, compassion, and support you've shown our family over the last few weeks. I am humbled and deeply grateful to all of you. Mahalo for allowing me to speak and for giving me a chance to honor my mom today. Mahalo.
Mahalo.
Chair.
Would anyone else like to say something?
Chair, I want to just add to that. I know she sat down and that's fine, but I do know that their family would watch our meetings on Zoom or online. So Tasha would say, oh, my family had a lot to say today when she was doing whatever the issue was coming up. So your words are gold. You know, it was happening and it would happen throughout the meeting and I would hear about it.
Feel free. I mean, you know, this is your opportunity to share whatever you want to about your grandma, your mom, your auntie, your sister, your mother-in-law.
For the record, my name is Evan Dust. I am or was the husband to Davelyn Dust, daughter number 1. And she knew she was number 1. I think what I'd like to put in the record is what has hit me so hard about her passing was intrinsic to who she was. I joined her family via marriage. She always treated me like she was my biological mother. She always treated me as part of the family. She always had that level of love. And that is the word that defines my mother, Tasha Kama. Love. A love that came from her faith in Jesus Christ. And I proudly say that she influenced my spiritual life dramatically. And for this body, thank you. Thank you so much. I've been here as staff. I've been here as a testifier. I've been here as a member of the public way back when somebody else was chair. And all times, thank you. Thank you to you as representatives of this community. Thank you as people, because that's how Tasha saw you, first and foremost as people.
Would anyone else like to speak? Don't be shy. If not, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, at this time, we'll do last call for anyone who would like to provide testimony solely on the condolence resolution. And the countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating a desire to testify.
Are any objections to closing public testimony on this item and accepting written testimony?
No objections.
Okay. Ms. Clerk?
Chair, before you is Resolution 25-212, extending condolences to the family of the late Natalie Tasha Kama.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt resolutions 25-212.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Cook, to adopt the resolution for Pro Tem Kama. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
May I please ask the clerk to read the resolution in its entirety?
Ms. Clerk.
Thank you.
Resolution 25-212, extending condolences to the family. This may take a little time. Of the late.
We loved her deeply. Whereas Council Presiding Officer Pro Tempore Natalie Tasha Kama, a respected community leader, yeah, Yuki started this, and elected official passed away on October 26, 2025, at the age of 73. And whereas the passing of a woman of such stature is a time to reflect upon. Hold on. Oh, the chair.
Whereas Council Presiding Officer Pro Tem Natalie Tasha Kama, a respected community leader and elected official, passed away on October 26, 2025, at the age of 73. And whereas the passing of a woman of such stature is a time to reflect upon and appreciate her many accomplishments. And whereas Councilmember Kama was born on August 14th, 1952, at Tripler Army Medical Hospital in Honolulu to Clarence and Ruth Kamai, and moved to Maui in 1983. Whereas a proud and loving mother, Councilmember Kama, and her husband, the late David Kama, had 11 children. Okay, here we go. Daviana, Dave-Lee, is there such a, you know, she wrote over the name, that's why I'm trying to,
Phonetically.
so Davy Anna, David Dean, David Jr., Daveline, Jeremiah, Nathaniel, Davery, and the late Davelin, and Dave Evie. Davery, okay, thank you. Whereas, thank you, Tasha, you know, for all this. Appreciate it. This is challenging to do this. Whereas a deeply faithful woman, Councilmember Kama served as an assistant pastor and then senior pastor of the Christian Ministry Church, and as a social justice organizer with Faith Action for Community Equity. And whereas determined to serve her community, Councilmember Kama was elected to the Maui County Council seat for the Kahului residency area in 2018 and re-elected in 2020, 2022, and 2024. And whereas her colleagues selected her to serve in a leadership role as the council's presiding officer pro tempore throughout her tenure. And whereas while on the council, Councilmember Kama served as chair of the Affordable Housing Committee, the Human Concerns and Parks Committee, and the Housing and Land Use Committee. And whereas Councilmember Kama was wholeheartedly dedicated to public service and worked with the Iao Intermediate School Parent-Teacher Student Association, the American Diabetes Association, Awakening the Spirit, the Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Coalition, the Hawaii State Council of Developmental Disabilities, and Voices of Micronesians on Maui. And whereas a tireless advocate for Native Hawaiians and Hawaiian homeland beneficiaries, Councilmember Kama helped form the Waiahuli Keokea Homestead Associations, served as a founding member and past president of the Sovereign Council of Hawaiian Homelands Assembly, now known as the Sovereign Council of Hawaiian Homestead Associations, and Napoe Kokua. Was appointed to the Hawaiian Sovereignty Advisory Commission, which later became the Hawaiian Sovereignty Elections Council. Was chair and vice chair of the National Association of County Finance, Pensions, and Intergovernmental Affairs Policy Steering Committee's Subcommittee on Tribal County Relations, and was a founding member of the National Association of Native County Leaders and Allies, a National Association of Counties affinity organization. And whereas Councilmember Kama, a woman who inspired people of all ages, was a 2015 graduate of the University of Hawaii, Maui College, serving as student government president for several years before graduating, and was recognized by Maui Economic Opportunity, Inc. as a Kupuna Advocate of the Year in 2023. And whereas the people of the county of Maui have benefited from the actions of this great woman, a leader who treated everyone with compassion and aloha and dedicated her life to her faith and her community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the County of Maui that it extends its condolences and deepest sympathy to the family of the late Natalie Tasha Kama, and that certified copies of this resolution be transmitted to her children, Davian Kama, Davy, Nat, Dave, okay. I wasn't sure about that. David Nat Fernandez, Davile Naole, Daviana Kama Fisher, David, A-E-O-N? David Dean. Okay. Kama Sickles. That's you, Leah, yeah? Okay. Okay. David Kama Jr., Daverine Sassman, Daveline Kama, Jeremiah Nathaniel Kama, Davery Kama, and Evan Dust. Her siblings Larry Kama, Larry Kamai, Terry Kamai, Serene Feliciano, Dwayne Kamai, Paul Kamai, Matthew Kylie Oho, and Naylene Kamai. And her grandchildren, Carrie Lynn Abara, Alexis Miyamoto, Kayleen Naioli, Stella Mae Sickles, Aureliana Kama, Ali'i Ula, Kekau Oha Kama, sorry. Sarah Ray, how about Jane and Mary, you know? Sarah Ray Kama, Sassman, and Andrew Dust. Now, to continue with discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. Yeah, it took four of us to do this resolution. And with heartfelt sincerity from all of you, I really appreciate this resolution that was put together actually by Chair Lee and the OCS staff. I wanted to just give some...
and my sister Mona.
And your sister Mona, who helped, yes. Joint effort. And Lei and Naylene and Evan, who helped, kind of coordinate the people who are here and get everybody so that we have head count for Leis and different things. But I just want to say a few words about my friend Tasha. And I just want the family to know that these are the chambers that we did our work in. And you can proudly look at this chair right here that we still have flowers for her. This is where she
Make sure you're talking to the mic.
Oh, sorry. This is where she sat. And her office was downstairs on the 7th floor. I'm sure you must have seen it by visiting Lei or Naylene or Evan. But this is where she did her work. As a policymaker, she consistently spoke up for those who needed a voice or disabled, homeless communities, kupuna keiki, and especially Native Hawaiians. Tasha lived a remarkable life. She earned her degree from UH Maui College, and I learned from attending her family ceremonies that she actually went to college the same time as her grandchildren. I thought it was after she had had her 11 children, and then she decided to go to college and tackled UH Maui College that way. But she was in classes with her grandchildren, and they were surprised to see her there. She also was in student government at the college. So in her desire to impact a greater community, she also became in student government at the UH College while going there. And as you know, she wanted to run for public office. And she has a cute story. She told me that when she first ran, her first campaign, she actually used construction paper or cardboard.
I saw that.
For signs. You saw that. And as you may know, it just takes a lot of money to print signs and do those things, but she was so determined. She did that. She ran and ran again. She did not give up and served with everything she had. But one of the efforts that amazed me the most that you've been hearing about in her help to help the Native Hawaiians, she gained federal recognition through Maui County's involvement in the National Association of Counties as NACO, an organization of more than 3,000 counties across the nation. And just remember, that's millions of people that she touched. Her dedication of advancing Native Hawaiians' issues on that national level was inspiring. She worked really hard and she created this subcommittee. I was shocked when I saw her do what she did. Evan Dust was a big part of getting the framework together and working with the National Association of Counties. It's just amazing. She was not one to yell or scream or anything like that, but if she believed in something, she was going to figure out a way of making it significant. And now for the rest of my life, as I've been on the, as long as I've been on, I'll be on the council, I will participate in this committee that she created at NACO in her memory and to be sure that it continues. And these are the American Indian tribes. These are the Alaskan tribes, as well as our Native American, Native Hawaiian. Tasha's amazing. I came to understand very quickly how deeply Tasha cherished her family. She kept each of her 11 children listed on her cell phone in numerical order. So some of them, I didn't even know their names. I just knew what number they were. She organized, loved, and they were always close to her heart. When I visited her at the ICU on Saturday, and remember, she passed away on Sunday, she called a family meeting at 9 o'clock in the morning. And one of her daughters, who gave that speech, gave a full report of her condition. And she actually pulled out a piece of paper and she read this report. It was pretty amazing. She wanted to know about the hospital visit as well as her general health. And it was remarkable because I can imagine that as a mother, to manage 11 children, 51 grandchildren, 6 great-grandchildren, it was remarkable.
Yeah, I thought it was 31.
Oh, 31?
Yeah, okay.
There'll be 51
Maybe she had
soon.
another family someplace.
It was remarkable to witness the strength, unity, and clarity she had instilled in her family. They listened to her. It was pretty amazing. She was especially proud of Lena, and I don't even know what number Lena is because she always called Lena, and her accomplishments. And at the annual Veterans Day or Memorial Day service, you could hear Lena sing the national anthem, Hawaii Ponohi, and she would just belt out the song over and above everybody else that was in attendance. She had such confidence and beauty. And if I looked at Tasha, there she was, beaming from ear to ear because she was so proud of Lena. Outside of work, we spent a lot of time together, often carpooling to events. And those drives became moments of real friendship. After I dropped her off at her home in Kahului, she would sometimes call me as we would talk on the phone all the way up to Kula, my house, and she just wanted to make sure I arrived home safely. That was a kind of meaningful, caring friend that she was. And like girlfriends do, we often spoke and I would call her. I remember one evening I called her and she didn't return my call till the next day. I was surprised because we usually talk pretty easily and fast. She explained that she and her husband David had been watching a movie together, simply enjoying time with each other. And it was so sweet and so very Tasha. Through everything she did and everything she lived, I believe she was always spiritually ready for the day she would be called to her new home. She often said that he would know her destiny, and now she is with him. And from now forward, he is very fortunate to have her, and he will be with her for eternity. Rest in kindness and peace, my dear friend. And may we all live the rest of our lives with the same kindness and peace that Tasha showed every day. For the members today, the family members that are here, When Tasha was in ICU, I gave her a glass-blown peace sign that was actually made from a glass blower down the street of my house in Kula. It's a business there. And Bill Worcester gave it to me. He said he would never sell it, but he would give me this, and it's for me to give away. So Bill has given me 30 of those they're like challenge coins, which I'm gonna ask Lei to give to the family members, and I could tell I don't have enough. So Lei, tell me how many more I need to get, but that is what I sent I sent Tasha off to her next life with that peace sign challenge coin, because I believe that's the way that she will be living and sharing in her new home. And before I go further, I just want to say today is also the birthday for Juliana, which is one of the 31 grandchildren. You want to put your hand up? Juliana.
Where? Happy birthday.
Birthday. This is He's daughter. So members, I do hope that you will support this resolution and my motion. Thank you, Chair.
Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. I obviously support this resolution, if I can, for a minute. I got to spend some time with Tasha in the hospital, and the day she passed in the morning, I sat down and held her hand. She was calm, had no fear, no anxiety, no regret, no resentment. She was always an inspiration to me. When I got elected, she came and prayed with me. And I knew her from years ago from faith, affordable housing and whatnot. She was such small in stature and huge in every other way, in humanity and love and kindness. She could speak in the chambers truth without malice, which was remarkable. At times, when people are feeling very opposed, and sometimes she would be literally insulted, and it would be rather rude at times. And she would take it and not just pretend, but she just like, I accept that, and I love you anyway. She was such a remarkable spirit. So although she's gone physically, she sticks with me as far as a mentor, a spiritual, human being mentor of how we can live, the opportunities that are provided to us to listen with an open heart, to listen without being judgmental, to disagree without being ugly. I aspire to do what she's done, which is leave this earth with fruitful footsteps. She's a remarkable woman. I'm grateful to her family to be able to have spent time with them the last couple of days. Really love her, really miss her. Thank you.
Anyone else? Oh, we have Member Johnson and then Member Sinansi.
Thank you, Chair. Of course, I rise in full support of this motion. I knew Councilmember Kama as a colleague. I met her on the campaign trail when we started running for office back in the day. One of the things that I recalled was learning her work with the people with disabilities and how important it was, how inspiring it was, and how long-lasting it was. I was a commissioner on Americans with Disabilities Act at the time, or before I took this job, and just seeing the work that she done and then the work that I've done has that kind of common ground that brings all of us together. There is common ground among all of us. We might not always agree on certain things, but there are things that we do agree on, and her work with folks with disabilities was really powerful to me. You know, just the other day, I was at King Kamehameha Schools, and they were doing the land leases for DHHL, and Mr. Kali Watson mentioned a very important thing that she put into the budget for the GE tax going for infrastructure for Hawaiian homes. All the things that she did, there's a long list. We can go down and be here all day about all of her accomplishments, but all of them are the stone in the water that makes the ripples that last well past her time and all of our times. She was the person who threw stones and made those ripples. And I really appreciated it and having the honor to work with her. So I rise in full support. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Sinensi.
Mahalo, Chair. Yeah, as Member Johnson said, I think her championing for disabilities, I think that was her. For me, I felt like she wanted to. It was her love for Lena. I feel, and she always wanted Lena to be safe. So I think that was her work to make sure that Lena was safe. My fondest memories was during the early days of campaign, and those early morning sunrises at the bottom of Haleakala, sign waving, and then later on in the afternoon on Ka'ahumanu Avenue. So, and then our trips to
In front
Lanai.
of Burger King.
Yeah, we got pictures. And then, of course, going travels to Lanai and Molokai and all the places in between, including Hana. We made sure she had her opihi, poi, and crab every time she visited Hana. That was her request. But as Yuki mentioned, in these last couple of years, her work was at the national level at NACO, where she helped to create NANCLA with her friend Lena Fowler for Native Americans. And then I remember she always wanted to reduce the blood quantum for Department of Hawaiian Homeland so that more Native Hawaiians qualified for housing. So I remember that was one of her work. And of course, Chair, for our WEIR conference, she helped she advocated at the NACO to bring WEIR to Maui next year. So I'm hoping that at least Evan guys do come next year in May for the WEIR conference, because she wanted to make sure that we put forth a very Hawaiian conference, and that our culture was displayed and at the WEIR conference in May. And so with that, I just wanted to thank Lei, Evan, Nailene, and all the Kamai and Kamai Ohana for sharing your mom with us. E milani aku ya Ehova, ke hele nei oe tasha me ke akua. Mahalo.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I can't even make it through it, but I miss her so much. She really served as a calming presence in times of a lot of adversity in this council. The last 3 years of this job has been a lot. And if it wasn't for her, I don't know if all of us would sometimes find those moments of peace that we so desperately need. In the last few weeks, I think I've been asking myself, what would Auntie Tasha do? And I feel like I should probably take a moment to think about my words before they come out of my mouth, as she used to. At least I assume she did, and that she didn't think any bad thoughts, which would be even worse, because I can't do that at all. Listening to one of her daughter's eulogy at the funeral the other day, I went home and I told my husband, I clearly don't love you as much as Auntie Tasha loved her husband. Because not only did they have 11 children, but all the Davids. I've never seen so many variations. My mom didn't love my dad as much. I don't think Bruce Lonnie would be cute for me either. So I'm super glad that that's not the case. You guys pull it off well, but I don't think the rest of us could. during this year, I had the privilege of driving Auntie out to Hana for budget, so we got to spend about a few hours in the car. And I was asking her about her life because it's so interesting, you know, living in Germany, having the love for black licorice. Like, who does that? And, you know, we were just talking stories, and she came from a really huge family, and then she, again, as you all said, made one of her own. And she was explaining to me how when she was growing up, she used to live in a Quonset hut on Oahu, and how she was part of the older group of her siblings, so would help her mom watch kids and would help her cook and then make sandwiches and put them back in that bag of bread, make a gallon of water and walk to the beach, and take her younger siblings and walk to the beach. And I was talking to her about like how old she was when this was happening, like how many kids, and I was like, you know, I only have 4, and I don't know if I trust my son to walk my kids to the beach, even if we live across the street. So you must have been very trustworthy from such a young age. And then she was talking to me about her kids and how much she loved each and every one of you. And again, this was a long drive, so we have plenty of time. And I asked her, you know, how do you manage 11 personalities? And it really made sense to me after she was talking to me about why she's so cool, calm, and collected in this job, even in times of adversity. Managing 11 children and their personalities, plus all their grandchildren, and these are the people you love the most, making sure everybody feels seen and everybody feels heard, I feel that's like saints' work, you know? And so I was like, what happens when they don't get along? She goes, that's just how, you know, just sometimes that's not gonna work out all the time, and you just do what you can, and you do what's best, and you move on. And I was telling her that, you know, I'm the oldest of 3, and then my parents adopted 2 more. And between the 5 of us is a lot. I cannot imagine 11. And I was kind of explaining to her, one of my brothers is not doing the best, you know? And she literally said, just love him more. And I was trying to explain to her, I don't know if I can. I get a hard time liking him right now. And she was like, no, but that's why you love him more. And it really just drove home how she looked at life and how she looked at tough decisions and people. And just when they were clearly struggling, which my brother probably is, you just love them more, even when it's so hard to even be nice sometimes. You love him more. And recently I had to see my brother, and I'm like, you know what? For her, I'm gonna hug you harder today. You're welcome. That's from Auntie Tasha. But I've never met a woman with more grace and more class, especially in times of adversity. And she has been such a blessing. It has been my good fortune, like I said, to work with her these past 3 years. And I see that grace and that class and that humility in all 11 of you folks. And luckily she had so many, because we really need grace in this world and this time today. And I really do see it in each and every one of you. Thank you for sharing her with us, and thank you for sharing her with Maui County, and now even this world and this nation. She has been such a blessing. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. My greatest aloha to the family. You know, I'm kind of like number 4. A lot of times I didn't agree. Even up to the last meeting, I was frustrated. She was doing all of these things so fast, and I was like, what is the rush, you know? we have a whole nother year, but I don't know if she knew that she didn't have another meeting in her, you know? And when I look at all of you guys, I see what her legacy is, because you guys are hammers. Especially Kumu Makana, you know, she's a teacher to my own kids. And to have grown up with her guidance, to hear of her grandkids and her children speaking of how she would always call them, that to me is the biggest message that I would take away. I call my kids and they want to hang up on me. But I'm just so impressed with the family, and I expect to see huge things coming from all of you because of that foundation in your life. I know that whatever you folks reach for, you're gonna kill it in a good way. And when I seen all of you guys on stage, dancing and singing, it really made me feel that she was there in each of you, and that we're gonna be okay because all of you guys exist and you're in this world to carry on her legacy, not just for this council term, but for the rest of time. Thank you.
Thank you. And speaking of the family dancing and singing at both services, I was just telling somebody next to me, I said, you know, my service is probably going to last 12 minutes because my family, they don't know how to sing. So they only can talk. And then, even then, I'll give them a time limit. No, but it's such a testament to her, that what she's done with the entire family and this family, the work family that she had made such an impression. And I didn't realize that almost all of us sort of counted on her for various things. I'd call her every now and then to express my concern about God, and she always defended him, you know. How can God do this? And anyway, her strength and in her faith was so incredible, so remarkable, that that's why her memory will be forever here, forever. And another thing that you may not know, but since a lot of you watch TV, did you see them eating snacks over there all the time? I used to call them the three supremes. They'd be eating, you know, lihimui seed or, you know, candies and all kinds of stuff.
We were the Temptations.
Oh, Temptations.
We were the Temptations.
Oh, I knew there was something. The Temptations. And they used to, most of the time, they'd be eating something and having a good old time in that corner. On the last, you saw her eating. Looked, oh no, yeah. So anyway, the last day, we talked about a lot of different things, and then she says, "And what are you gonna do?" And I said, I don't want to run again. You know, I have things to do. I have to finish my nonprofit. So many things I want to do before I join, the family upstairs. And so I said, that I've been working on the reintegration program for the prisoners along with my family for several years now, and I really want to expand that. And I have many, many ideas and many things I have to do. And her last words to me was, please help the prisoners. Those were her last words. It's so important for you to help the prisoners. Because we had that connection. And I said, don't worry. I'll take care of them. And then she started to fall asleep, and then I left. But, you know, she's such a character. You know, we enjoyed, just like the rest of the members, enjoyed her company so much. But she was special because she has the gift of grace. You know, this clearly God lives within her very deeply in her soul. And we all are going to miss her, but we are grateful. We are very grateful. That's one thing on Thanksgiving Day, we're going to talk to our family and say, we're grateful for having the friendship of Tasha Kama. Now, members, yes, Vice Chair Sugimura.
I just want to add something. I wrote this, just amazing Tasha Kama, right? So she loves her family, and once she's told me that she was going to a family reunion in Waimanalo, which is where she was born. So I'm going to guess it's the Kamai family. And I said, oh, wow, how many people are going to get together? Because I knew she had a big family. 500. 500 people. At first, I said 300, and I was corrected by one of the family members that it was 500, and they would all pitch tents in Waimanalo Park and get together. That was their family reunion. It's really amazing. And the other thing that I want to share with this body, because I'm sure that all the family members know, as I was really impressed with this, her love for the Hawaiian people. She said her dad would take them, all the children, to play at Iolani Palace grounds. I said, oh, really? She said, yeah. We were with the Queen. We were with, you know, our native Hawaiian ancestors. And she said they would play at the at Iolani Palace grounds, and that was like a very safe and special place to their family. And these are the kinds of things that, you know, just makes me realize how wonderful generations of this family is. And Tasha and her family and Lei, I think, and her children have this kuleana of feeding the homeless. So that church in Wailuku Town, right next to McDonald's, once a month, the family would bring out all their pots and pans and cook and feed homeless. I'm just like, wow. She invited me a couple times. She said it's a tradition that her father started, and now it's generations. So this is what she learned besides all her religion. But this is what her foundation has been, which makes Tasha a very special person. And I will close by saying that in this chamber, some of the other members have said, when it gets contentious in here, and sometimes members or the public would say things that could hurt my feelings, she was the first one in my office to apologize and to say a prayer. She's just this amazing person, right, of caring and grace. And I cannot say how much I loved her enough, and I'm going to really miss her. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And now the vote. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
So that's 7 ayes, 2 excused.
Who's excused? One excused.
I'm excusing Pro Tem Kama.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
She has better places to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Motion carries. Ms. Clerk, is it now the time to ask the members of the public, the family to come down?
Yes, sure.
Can you come down and, if you don't mind, taking a picture with us?
I think the family member might want to say a few words on behalf of the family.
Oh.
Or is he?
Somebody else want to say something?
Yeah.
Oh, number
4.
Number 4. 5. Oops. 5.
She's from New York.
Aloha kakahiaka kako. My name is Daviana Hi'iaka Kama Fisher, number 5. And yes, I'm from New York. I live in New York, but from Maui. Thank you, Chair Lee, Vice Chair Sugimura, and Council for the recognition of our mother, Natalie Tasha Kama, for her contributions to Maui over her time here. The more we prepared for the celebration of her life, the more we learned about how she spent her time while we, her 11 children, were growing up. She definitely was a skilled community organizer. Given a different time and place, she could have been president. Barack did it. But too bad technology was not as advanced when we were growing up. We could have used today's Life 360 app to keep tabs on our very busy mother. When Life 360 did come on scene, we made sure her phone had it. Anytime she left her house before 6 a.m., we would get a notification. So we would call and ask her where she was going. She typically would reply, to eat breakfast, with a follow-up of, do you want to come? Of course, the answer was always yes. With 11 children, Mom had a built-in campaign team. Many of us spent early mornings or late afternoons by Burger King in Kahului waving signs. Come election season, we knew where we were going to be with signs in hand. Of course, we were very happy when she finally found success, winning election to the Kahului residency seat in the 2018 election. You may not have noticed, but many of us who now live outside of Maui have been attending housing committee and council meetings on Blue Jeans and then Teams. But it seemed to us that you have most of your fun while in recess, just like in elementary school. Seriously, we would like to thank you for honoring our mother. For me and my siblings, this resolution falls on another special day. Today is the 9th birthday for my 5th child, Juliana. I hope that my children, her grandchildren, and her great-grandchildren carry on the legacy of our mother, their grandmother. Service to their communities regardless of their chosen professions. Mom lived her life in service to others in accord with her deep abiding faith in her Savior, Jesus Christ. Her faith opened her heart and love poured out on all who crossed her path. In this chamber and in the community, it did not matter if you agreed or disagreed with her. She loved all. It was that love that allowed her to maintain a calm, collected demeanor in this chamber and the community. For Mom, she lived her life with her strong faith as both her bedrock and her guiding North Star. When the choice was between the easy way and the right way, Mom always chose the right way. On behalf of the Ohana Kama, we sincerely thank you for recognizing our mother. May her legacy be one of love in this chamber, in this government, in this community, and throughout Hawaii. Mahalo nui ya oko.
Anybody else would like to say something? Otherwise, you're going to ask if you come forward, please, and receive leis and take a picture, please.
Yes, I have to go. watched this so many times, I don't. Come on down, Evan. Yeah, I've done. I've watched this so many times.
You know what's happening.
We tried. Oh, my gosh. My notes are, my handwriting's so horrible.
Fast, got the baby. I know. This is the.
Okay. The non-David. Yeah. Your husband of number 5. Oh, me too. Yeah, I was like, how could that be? Happy birthday. What are you gonna do after this? What's the celebration? It's a beach time. Yeah, swim around with the fishes.
I guess I'll be almost there.
I see your mom. Right there. Look at this. You can get it.
Bro. Oh my days, you're deaf.
That is very pixelated.
See, that should be okay. Well, Guillermo went first. 1, 2, and it's so cold.
Are your brothers at the concert? No, I didn't even have to come, but I came anyways.
Are you serious? They have to check all the Dude, it took us like 15 minutes to get. Well, your dad drives like an
It's okay. My fault.
You're still coming to it? Yeah. Carpet. Carpet. Stage.
Eyes, nose, mouth. You can go back. I don't know why I have the urge to just push her. Sometimes I do too. I'm like, watch your watch. Watch your I want to watch your head go down as your legs go. Don't you just sometimes you just feel like you need to be like, I was just debating as a situation. You're like, no, I've never felt it. I was like, go lucky you don't stay here. So they're like, you rock it. No, we don't. Six. Okay. Because she's the one after Tahiti, and we all know it. Tahiti's
This meeting is in recess until 10:22. Thank you. Will the council meeting of November 21st, 2025 please reconvene? Ms. Clark.
Chair, at this time, we will be accepting testimony on any item listed in today's agenda. The first testifier will be Theo Morrison, testifying on Bills 110, CD1, and 156, CD1, 2025, to be followed by Warren Freeland.
Aloha, Chair and council members.
Aloha.
I'm here to request that you continue your support for 110 and 156. When the Kapuna come to you and say they want Lahaina back the way it was, this is what they're talking about. They want the narrow street. They want the awnings hanging down over the sidewalk. This is one of the unique qualities of Lahaina. So thank you very much for supporting 110 and 156. Thank you.
Any questions, members? If not, thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is Warren Freeland, testifying on Bills 110, CD1, and 156, CD1, 2025, to be followed by Richard Mitchell.
Good morning, Chair and council members. My name is Warren Freeland. My great-grandfather built the Pioneer Inn in 1901, and it's been in our family ever since. I'm here today representing my family, and we are active members of Front Street Recovery. I testified in support of Bill 110 before, and it's great to have the opportunity to reaffirm my support for the bill today. The issues that Bill 110 addresses are actually roadblocks to rebuilding Front Street. And supporting this bill will help clear a pathway forward. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Members, do you have any questions? If not, thank you very much.
Chair, the next testifier is Richard Mitchell, Director of Housing, testifying on Resolution 25211.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members. It's good to be here as always. If you could indulge me a bit, I'll just open up with a comment Member Kama shared with me, and that is, everyone deserves a place, a home to call their own. And when I would meet with her, I would always leave those meetings and feel incredibly invigorated to continue service and humbled at the opportunity. I'm testifying today in support of Resolution 25-211. In my transmittal, I didn't request floor action. I didn't, per your request, have an emergency to justify the request. But since it's simply a resolution to seek council authorization to reduce the code-required 3% per annum interest charge on use of affordable housing funds to a smaller amount, and in light of our cancellation of Affordable Housing Committee meetings, I would welcome the opportunity for floor action on the resolution so that we can move it along. It's very perfunctory, not complex, and would appreciate the indulgence, and we will be sure to think ahead if we can next time to request floor action. Thank you.
Questions? Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Director Mitchell. I just wanted to clarify, this is the type of thing that is regularly done by this council. It's not out of the ordinary, correct?
Thank you, Member Paulton. That is correct. We do this all the time, both as floor action or the request for the reduction of the interest rate through resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. I can support it. I mean, the Ikaika Ohana at this point is a very trusted Ohana developer, and we've seen the fruits of their labor in West Maui and are grateful to them. So I have no problem supporting floor action. Thank you.
Any other questions, members? Okay, thank you.
Chair, the next testifier is John Pele. And Mr. Pele, if you could just let us know what matter you'll be testifying on, and he will be followed by Leslie Milner.
Absolutely. Good morning, Chair Lee and council members.
Morning.
My name is John Pele, representing the Maui. I'm the executive director representing Maui Hotel and Lodging Association Today I'll be testifying on bills 110 and 156. And the Maui Hotel and Lodging Association, as we did in first reading in our written testimony, I'm here to provide oral testimony for second reading, and we ask that you please support these bills and continue to support them through the second reading. With that, I'd like to say thank you guys for what you guys do. It's been a long week. Happy Aloha Friday to you guys, to you all. Hopefully you can end your day with a beverage, non-alcoholic or maybe stronger, and have a toast with someone that matters to you. And hopefully we can all share a toast to our dearly departed and beloved Auntie Tasha Kama. So be well, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you. Members, questions? If not, next testifier.
Chair, the next testifier is Budget Director Leslie Milner, testifying on bills 172, 173, and 174, and she will be followed by Kayla Kutaka.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, council members.
Aloha.
I will do my best to keep it short and sweet as always. Bill 172, we are requesting floor action on these three because they're minor corrections to these line items in the budget. Bill 172 is the Molokai Economic Development, Environmental and Cultural Programs. We're correcting the entity name for one of the line items from Kahale Hoaka LLC to Hui o Kuapa. Bill 173 is the Makawaupa Ia Ha'iku Economic Development, Environmental and Cultural Programs line. We are updating the description from the Makawau Halloween event to the Makawau 2025 Light the Town event for obvious timing reasons. Happy November. And Bill 174 is under the Economic Diversification and Development Initiative. Again, this is just updating the entity name to reflect the fiscal sponsor, Mana Maoli Lahaina Rising. So we'd appreciate your consideration. I was going to say a few words, but I don't always like to cry in public, so I will just say I'm sorry for all of our loss. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. No questions.
I know I watched.
Chair, currently the last testifier is Kayla Kutaka. And Ms. Kutaka, if you could please let us know what item you'll be testifying on.
Aloha, Chair. Aloha, members of the City Council, County Council. I mahalo for the opportunity to submit testimony in support for Resolution 25-204 regarding the appointment of a member to the Commission on Children and Youth. My name is Kayla Kutaka. I am the applicant before you today. Unfortunately, I'm unable to be with you in person, so I appreciate your consideration and would like to share brief context about my background and commitment to serve. Born and raised on Maui, I applied for the commissionership as an engaged community member who believes in responsibility and the potential of local government. Through my work with a local service provider and my participation in coalitions and nonprofit boards, I stay closely connected to the issues impacting our keiki and our ohana. I have served as an early educator, a special education teacher, a clinical director for youth behavioral health services, and a nonprofit leader supporting children and families. These roles have strengthened my skills in collaboration, in advocacy, and in data analysis. All these skills directly aligned with the Commission's mission. Keali'i Puahi has taught me, and I'm also reminded with everyone's wonderful words of our council member, Tasha Kama. True wealth comes from what we give. I have a deep love for our lahui, a commitment to stewarding resources for our shared kaia'ulu. And I regularly review meeting agendas and minutes. I'm familiar with the Commission's work and the kind of the recent projects. I am aware of Bill 118 regarding the repeal of Chapter 2.39 of the Maui County Code on the Commission of Children and Youth. I am also very well informed about the related resolution suspending Rule 15A until January of 2027. I understand the attendance expectations for commissioners. My schedule and resources allow me to meet all of these expectations and requirements. So with that said, with my background and my understanding of the Commission's responsibilities, I'm confident in my ability to contribute meaningful skills, knowledge, and dedication to this role. I'll do my best to remain online for the reso, but just want to say mahalo for your time and consideration.
Member Paulton and then Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Ms. Kutaka, for your willingness to serve I just wanted to ensure that you understood that my bill to repeal the children and youth is not that we don't need folks focused on children and youth. It's just that the setup and the outcomes, I don't think it needs to be a sunshine meeting. I think it hampers in some ways doing the work that needs to be done, but I trust that you'll report back to us if otherwise sunshine meetings are necessary versus just doing the work without the whole board and commission, sunshine law, and all the other things. So I just wanted to ensure that you're aware of where that's coming from.
Absolutely. Thank you, Councilmember Paulson. I understand and appreciate your explanation.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being well prepared. I'm impressed. Usually, nominees do not come with that much history or knowledge, and you did your homework. So I support you. Thank you very much.
Mahalo, Councilmember Sugimura.
Ms. Kutaka, what do you envision contributing to the commission?
Mahalo for your question, Chair Lee. I think there's much going on in our community.
Excuse me, Ms. Kutaka.
Yes.
I didn't mean for it to be a long answer. I just.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But
Absolutely.
I was wondering, are you going to be available for further discussion?
I'm actually currently at an event on Oahu, which is why I'm unfortunately online. I'm going to do my best, but depending on timing, I do have to present to honor my team today.
Okay.
It is 50 years of home visiting that we're celebrating
Okay,
today.
good. But then I'll go back to my question. It's not really a clarifying question, but in case we don't get to ask you again. Just kind of quickly, what can you contribute?
Yes, I believe that I contribute. My greatest interest in my work and in my outside of work life is to be a good listener. And I really ensure being a commissioner to listen to our community and to do what we can to understand what is affecting our Kiki and our Ohana in the community and bringing that to the table and thus to our county council.
Okay, great. Because I always envisioned those commissioners to be able to assist the council in advising us where the funding should go according to the priorities of the community. So that's what I'd be looking for. Thank you. Any more questions? If not, thanks again. Ms. Clerk?
Chair, there's currently no one else signed up to testify, so if there is anyone who would like to testify at the beginning of the meeting, this is your opportunity. This is the last call. Countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating a desire to testify.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony on this item and accepting written testimony? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We're moving on to committee reports, and currently there is no one signed up to testify. I see Mr. J.C. Law making his way to testify on one of the committee reports. Can you please let us know which committee report you're testifying on?
CR 25, Bill 138 and 136 and 137. 60 South Church Street building renovations. I'd like to thank the BFED committee chair and Natalie Mahana for working on this stuff. That's a big project over there. And there's a nice space in between and behind there, like a small parking lot and stuff. It's kind of closed in, and you guys can keep people from going in the dumpsters over there. So that'd be a good place for a cardboard recycle dumpster and other recycling facilities. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, there is no one else signed up to testify. If anybody wishes to testify on the committee reports, please raise your hand in Teams or make your way to the podium. Chair, seeing none, we'll count down last call, 3, 2, 1. There is no one else to testify on committee reports.
Any objections to closing public testimony and accepting written testimony on committee reports? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, from the Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee is Committee Report 25-79, recommending the following. One, first reading of Bill 136, CD1, 2025, to amend the fiscal year 2026 budget by one, increasing estimated revenues for bond, lapse bond by 1.1 million. Two, adding a new capital improvement project appropriation entitled 60 South Church Street Building Renovations in the amount of 1.1 million. Three, adding the project and description to Appendix C. And four, adjusting the totals accordingly. And two, first reading of Bill 137, CD1, 2025, to amend the fiscal year 2026 general obligation bond authorization ordinance by adding an appropriation for the Department of Management, Wailuku Kahului Community Plan Area Government Facilities entitled 60 South Church Street Building Renovations in the amount of 1.1 million.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
There are no objections. May I please request the clerk also call up CR 2580 and CR 2581?
Any objections, members? So ordered. Vice Chair.
Our committee report, I'll call Committee Report 2580, recommending first reading of Bill 152, 2025, to amend the fiscal year 2026 budget, Appendix A, Part 1 to 1, delete the appropriation for Community Development Block Grant Program, and 2, increase the appropriation for county-owned senior affordable rental housing project, Nahali Kupuna operations by $51,151. Committee Report 25-81, recommending the following. One, first reading of Bill 150, CD1, 2025, to amend the fiscal year 2026 budget by one, increasing estimated revenues for other intergovernmental by $64,469,830. Two, adding a new capital improvement project appropriation entitled Countywide Wildfire Disaster Relief Projects in the amount of $64,469,830. Three, adding the project and description to Appendix C. And four, adjusting the totals accordingly. And two, first reading of Bill 151, 2025, to authorize the mayor to enter into an intergovernmental agreement for a loan from the state of Hawaii's Drinking Water State Revolving Fund not to exceed $64,469,830 to finance countywide wildfire disaster relief projects.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I move to adopt the recommendations in CR 2579, CR 2580, and CR 2581.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member Cook, to approve the recommendations in committee reports 2579, 2580, and 2581. Discussion, Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. Relating to CR 2579, Bill 136 CD1 2025 and 137 CD1 2025 amends the fiscal year 26 budget and bond authorization ordinance, respectively, for $1.1 million for bond funding for the 60 South Church Street building renovations project. This funding completes critical roof, waterproofing, electrical, and other life safety reliability work to the 60 South Church Street, so the county can safely move the Maui County Emergency Management, or MEMA, into the building. The contractor expects substantial completion in December 25, with furniture and technology installed by January. The county moves in by February. We look forward to that. Thank you. For CR 2580, Bill 152 amends the fiscal year 26 budget, Appendix A, Part 1, by deleting the total CDBG program appropriation because each project has its own appropriation amount, and increasing the amount to Nahale Kupuna operations by $51,151. This one-time charge for Nahale Kupuna uses remaining community block grant funds to cover homeowners' association fees and utility costs incurred before tenants move in. Relating to the next CR 2581, Bill 150 CD1 amends the fiscal year 26 budget to recognize $64,469,830 in other intergovernmental revenues, and to add the matching countywide CIP entitled Wildfire Disaster Relief Projects for the Department of Water Supply. Bill 51 authorizes the mayor to enter into a drinking water safety revolving fund loan in an amount not to exceed
not to exceed $64,469,830 to finance the projects. We look forward to that. These funds will support design and construction for key drinking water projects. The loan may qualify for up to 90% principal forgiveness and passage of bills 150 and 151 by December 31st is part of the critical needed to qualify for that level of forgiveness. I ask for the members' support. Thanks.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 7 ayes, 1 excused. Motion carries.
Thank you, members.
Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to resolutions. Currently, there is no one signed up to testify on the resolutions on today's agenda, so we'll give last call.
Thank you.
Counting down 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one to testify on resolutions.
Members, any objections to closing public testimony and accepting written testimony on resolutions? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Resolution 25-204, appointing a member to the Commission on Children and Youth for the County of Maui.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to discharge the Government Relations, Ethics, and Transparency Committee from further consideration of Resolution 25-204.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to discharge the Great Committee from further consideration of Resa 25-204. And so do we have discussion here? Member Hodgins.
Thank you. The Council's deadline to approve or disapprove the nominee is November 28th, 2025. This is the Council's last opportunity to consider this appointment before a deadline. Members, I will apologize. We had this on our schedule the last time, but initially I thought we had time to take it to committee, and of course, all the things happened, and so we didn't have our great committee, so this is before us again. So thank you.
Okay, any more discussion on the discharge? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 1 excused, motion carries. Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. I move to adopt Resolution 25-204.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Cook to adopt Resolution 25-204. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you. I move to amend Resolution 25-204 by placing Kayla Ray Kutaka for a term expiring on March 31st, 2026 on Exhibit B for approval.
Second. Okay, moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Member Cook to, on the motion to approve the nominee. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you very much. Members, her application is available on Granicus, so hopefully you all got to take a look at it. We heard from her today. She is unbelievably qualified, and I just thank her for her willingness to serve. And I hope that the members respectfully support this motion. Thank you.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
And then, so that's the,
we have another motion.
right, to,
Member Hodgins.
I have no further discussion, Chair. Thank you so much. And again, thank you to our nominee for serving. We have to just do the main motion as amended, yes?
Okay.
Thank you.
Main motion as amended, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 1 excused, motion carries.
thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Resolution 25-211, approving an exemption from a requirement of subsection 3.35.070B Maui County Code for the Kaia'ulu o Lanai Affordable Housing Project.
Member Johnson.
I move to adopt Resolution 25-211.
Moved by Member Johnson, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to adopt Resolution 25-211. Discussion, Member Johnson.
Thank you, Chair. In the fiscal year 2026 budget passed by the Council through Ordinance 5816, up to $7.2 million was appropriated for a loan from the Affordable Housing Fund to develop the Kaia'ulu o Lanai Affordable Housing Project. Under subsection 3.35.07 parentheses B, Maui County Code, unless otherwise approved by the Council resolution, the interest rate on loans from the Affordable Housing Fund must be set at 3% per annum. The resolution would grant the developer an exemption to that requirement, allowing the interest rate for the loan agreement to be set at 0.25% per annum, which would match the Hawaii Housing Finance and Development Corporation's financing terms for the Rental Housing Revolving Fund. By adopting this resolution today, the developer of this much-needed affordable housing project may proceed without any committee-related delay on this issue. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Mahalo, members.
Chair, at this time, we are able to accept testimony on ordinances listed on the agenda. There is currently no one signed up to testify, so this is last call. And the countdown is 3, 2, 1. Chair, there's no one indicating a desire to testify.
Any objections to closing public testimony and accepting written testimony on ordinances? So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Bill 172, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2026 budget, Office of the Mayor, Economic Development Program, Molokai Economic Development, Environmental and Cultural Programs, deleting Kahale Hoaka LLC and inserting Hui o Kuapa.
Member Paulton.
I move to pass Bill 172, 2025 on first reading.
Moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to pass Bill 172 on first reading. Discussion, Member Paulton.
Thank you. Bill 172 amends fiscal year 2026 budget for the Office of the Mayor's Economic Development Program to update a Molokai Economic Development, Environmental and Cultural Programs condition. This bill replaces Kahale Hoaka LLC with Hui o Kuapa as a grantee with no change to the total appropriation. This change was requested by Councilmember Rollins Fernandez. I ask for the members' support of my motion. Thank you.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand and say aye. Raise your hand and say aye. 7 ayes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Bill 173, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2026 budget, Office of the Mayor Economic Development Program, updating the conditional language for the Makawao Rodeo Parade and Makawao Halloween event to Makawao Rodeo Parade and Makawao Holiday 2025, like the town event.
Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Excuse me. I move to pass Bill 173, 2025 on first reading.
Moved by Member Hodgins, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to pass Bill 173 on first reading. Discussion, Member Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Bill 173 amends the FY26 budget, Makawao Paia Haiku Economic Development, Environmental Cultural Programs by updating the conditional language from the Makawao Rodeo Parade and Makawao Halloween event to the Makawao Rodeo Parade and the Makawao Holiday 2025 like the town event. I requested this budget amendment and there is no proposed change to the amount of the funds, the allocated funds. There was an issue with the fiscal sponsor, so they were unfortunately unable to do their Halloween event. So thankfully, they're being flexible and going to attempt to do a Christmas event, which I'm so excited for. I love Christmas, and Makawao has been feeling real Christmassy with the weather, so I'm very excited for this, and I respectfully, ask for the members' support of my motion. Thank you.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand and say aye. 7 ayes, 0 noes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Bill 174, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2026 budget, Office of the Mayor Economic Development Program, Economic Diversification and Development Initiative, updating the conditional language for the Rising from the Ashes LLC for film production to Mana Maoli, Lahaina Rising for film production.
Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. I move to pass Bill 174, 2025 on first reading.
Second.
Moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Member Sinensi to pass Bill 174 on first reading. Discussion, Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. Bill 174 amends the fiscal year 2026 budget for the Office of Mayor's Economic Diversification and Development Initiative under the Economic Development Program to update conditional language. Bill 174 reflects the new fiscal sponsor, Mana Maoli, replacing Rising from the Ashes LLC, allowing for the execution of grant funds. And if I may, just brag a little bit about the film Rising from the Ashes, where I got a private screening in the director's living room. They, about this time last month, won the Hawaii International Film Fest 45's Made in Hawaii Award at the world premiere screening to 2 sold-out audiences, October 22nd and 23rd. They needed to schedule a third encore performance at one of the Kahala theaters. This 92-minute film takes viewers inside the harrowing events of August 8th, 2023, when the historic town of Lahaina, Maui was devastated by one of the deadliest wildfires in U.S. history. Capturing in real time the chaos, courage, and collective resilience of a community forever changed, told, and created by the generational families of Lahaina. Lahaina Rising is a locally rooted story made for the community and the world. And, you know, some of the reaction from our community members was, you know, in living through the past 2 and something years, most all of us have been focused on moving forward, rebuilding, getting back to that sense of normalcy. But there was a gratitude to DeAndre, Maddie, and Blake that had to edit and watch over and over and over some of the worst moments in our history and shape it into something different. And it just goes to show that the future for filmmaking in Hawaii, despite the traffic cluster this morning with the soldiers on the beach at Okumehame, that Maui can create made in Hawaii films that capture and inspire the minds across the globe. So I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion because these kids are going places.
When can we see it?
You want me to call up Maddie for a special screening?
No, not special. Oh, just general.
I know they're doing a tour. They're going to around the islands and then across the nation. But we have plans with my Economic Recovery Commission group to host a series of events, and there has been talk about a series of film screenings at the amphitheater, similar to how the Chief of War did at the MAC, but to do that at the Lahaina Amphitheater. So it's in the works, but we haven't selected a date. We have a lot of events planned over the upcoming year, and we just gotta fit it in there.
Okay, good, thank you. All right, members, any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 0 noes, 1 excused. Motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, we're moving on to ordinances for second and final reading. Before you is Bill 110 CD1 FD1 2024, a bill for an ordinance amending section 16.25.201 Maui County Code relating to improvements to public street.
Member Cook.
Chair, I move to pass Bill 110 CD1 FD1 2024 on second and final reading.
Moved by Member Cook, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura to pass Bill 110 CD1 FD1 2024 on second and final reading. Discussion, Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. Bill 110 provides targeted relief for property owners whose structures were destroyed or severely damaged by the August 2023 Maui wildfires.
Okay, any more? Are you gonna? Oh, I thought you were done.
No, it accepts those properties that the requirement to construct or improve public streets during rebuilding. The exemption focuses on the most affected area while maintaining the county's broader infrastructure and safety standards. At the previous council meeting, we amended Bill 110 to also exempt Siemens Hospital, Lahaina Restoration, and the Channel House on Front Street, as requested by the Office of Recovery. I respectfully ask the members to support my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
7 ayes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Here before you is Bill 131, CD1, 2025, a bill for an ordinance to change zoning from R1 Residential District to B2 Community Business District, conditional zoning for 14,467 square feet at 1448 Front Street, Lahaina, Hawaii, tax map key 245013012, Moku Roots.
Member Paulton?
I move to pass Bill 131, CD1, 2025 on second and final reading.
Moved by Member Paulton, seconded by Vice Chair Sugimura, to pass Bill 131, CD1, 2025 on second and final reading. Discussion, Member Paulton.
Thank you, Chair. This bill has made the rounds, first introduced in these council chambers like August of 2023. And it's come to its end of its journey here with us. Today, November 21st, 2025. Our community has always known that area on Front Street to be a parking lot, so much so that I received online comments like, what are you doing? That is a parking lot. I'm like, I'm just trying to make it so that it'll be the parking lot that everybody understands it to be. And here we are, 2+ years later. Congratulations to all of us. It's been a rough road.
Any more discussion? Okay. All those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye. 7 ayes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Chair, before you is Bill 147, CD1, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending Section 3.48.565 Maui County Code to simplify the process for adopting real property tax rates and tiers.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Objections, may I please request the clerk also call up Bill 166, 2025 and 167, 2025.
Any objections, members? So ordered.
Bill 166, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2026 budget, increasing estimated revenues, licenses, permits, others by $350,000, capital improvement projects, Department of Water Supply, Makua Pukalani Kula Community Plan Area, Appendix A, Part 2, General Excise Tax Fund, and Appendix C, Department of Water Supply, Makua Pukalani Kula Community Plan Area, increasing the appropriation for Upper Kula transmission improvements by $350,000. And Bill 167, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2026 budget, Office of the Mayor Economic Development Program, deleting the appropriation for the Professional Golfers Association for the Century Tournament in the amount of $100,000, and Department of Human Concerns Program, grants and disbursements for substance abuse prevention and treatment, new appropriation for Aloha House Dormitory of $100,000.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you. I move to pass Bill 147, CD1, 2025, Bill 166, 2025, and Bill 167 on second and final reading. Thank you.
Moved by Vice Chair Sugimura, seconded by Member U'uhajens to pass Bills 147, 166, 167. Discussion.
No further discussion.
Any more discussion? All those in favor of the motion?
I have a discussion.
Yeah, Member Paulton.
Is just, I mean, not a discussion, but a question. Is Bill 147 the one about posting and the media? Like
yes, fixing so we
Maui
can close.
News? I mean, like only 3 of you are in the RPTR committee, so just...
Yes, that's what it is.
It's the one that
Yes.
we don't have to post on the Maui News on Mondays.
It's to clean up our process.
Okay,
Yeah.
just double checking, sorry.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion, raise your hand, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 7 ayes, 0 noes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Before you is Bill 156, CD1, 2025, a bill for an ordinance amending Chapter 12.52 Maui County Code relating to encroachments on public rights of way.
Cook.
Chair, I move to pass Bill 156, CD1, 2025 on second and final reading.
Second.
Okay, moved by Member Cook, seconded by Member Hodgins to pass Bill 156, CD1, 2025 on second and final reading. Discussion, Member Cook.
Thank you, Chair. Bill 156 allows for the replacement of awnings, canopies, marquees, signs, and similar overhead structures encroaching into the public right-of-way that were damaged or destroyed during a declared emergency or disaster. This bill supports the county's ongoing recovery efforts by enabling property owners, particularly in the historic towns like Lahaina, to replace these features provided public health and safety are protected and building code standards are met. I respectfully ask for the members' support of my motion.
Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand, say aye.
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 7 ayes, 0 noes, 1 excused, motion carries. Ms. Clerk?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Moving on to unfinished business. Currently, there is no one signed up to testify on unfinished business, so we'll go ahead and give last call. Counting down 3, 2, 1. Chair, no one to testify on the unfinished business.
Any objections to closing public testimony on unfinished business?
No objections.
And accepting written testimony. So ordered, Ms. Clerk.
Thank you, Madam Chair. From the Budget, Finance, and Economic Development Committee is Committee Report 25-72, recommending the following. 1, adoption of Resolution 25-193, CD1, to authorize the mayor to request that the governor designate the proposed Napili Enterprise Zone on Maui Island for a 20-year period. And 2, adoption of Resolution 25-194, CD1, to authorize the mayor to request that the governor redesignate the Greater Maui Enterprise Zone on Maui Island with proposed adjustments for a 20-year period. And we will also note for the record that Resolution 25-194 was adopted at the November 7th council meeting.
Vice Chair Sugimura.
Thank you, Chair. If there are no objections, may I please request that this item be postponed until the regular council meeting scheduled on December 5th, 2025. And if there's no objections, to just defer it.
Any objections, members, to postponing this item until December 5th? Member Paulton.
I don't have any objection. I just wanted to give everyone the reasoning. Member Sugimura had asked me, and we both had spoke to Economic Development Director Rojas Letisi, and our pathway forward that we discussed was that the mayor's office under her under the mayor's office, or whichever way you want to say it, is going to do their own outreach to the Napili community. With the outreach that I had posted, I didn't have the answers that my community was asking. So if they spread the word and get the word out and questions come to them, they're the appropriate folks to get the answers. So that's just what we're waiting on. And she has agreed to take that up. So I think it's a good path forward for all of us because I'm not the appropriate entity to be asking the questions that I don't know the answers to.
Okay. Vice Chair Sugimura.
Yeah, thank you. So my office has been in touch with the director, and I think what she's trying to do is possibly get on the agenda for the December 3rd meeting, the West Maui meeting, so that it can be spoken about to the, the general group. I don't know how many people attend or if it's filmed and.
Lots of people attend.
Okay, so it'll be discussed there. And what I want to say to the general public is this is not something new, but I don't think that it was talked about a lot. So it is something that needs to be shared with the greater community. And it's actually really positive for economic development. But what OED is trying to achieve is to spread the word, share the benefits, as well as so that Member Paulton, when people ask her, she'll have answers. And at this point, she didn't have any answers to the questions she was getting. So working in tandem I think this will be something good. Look forward to passing this hopefully on December 5th.
Okay, this item is deferred.
Thank you.
And I believe that brings us to the end of the calendar.
Yeah.
Ms. Clerk? All right, members, it's been a tough week emotionally, and hope you have a wonderful weekend. This meeting is adjourned.
Good job, Chair.